Hello and welcome to the Feminine Millionaire Show. I'm your host, Polly Alexander. I'm a success coach, healer, creative and future millionaire. If creating money and success in a spiritual and feminine and joyful way is your goal, this show is for you. Let's all rise together. Hello and welcome to episode 97 of the Feminine Millionaire Show. And today is quite an entertaining episode. Now, it's based on an Instagram live I did recently called Why I Fired My Housekeeper Funny Story. And I'm going to share that live and then I'm going to give you how I look at these things. So I'm going to give you the behind the scenes story. So first of all, enjoy listening and I'm sure you're going to get a good laugh from today's episode. Hello. I'm actually going to share quite a funny story with you today. I've been debating whether to share this, but I think it's actually a great lesson in hiring and in taking a stand for what you deserve. So there is going to be a learning in this story I'm going to share. It's not just a funny story, although it is actually really funny. But there is a learning in this, and when you're going to grow your business without burning out. And hi, everybody. So I hired a housekeeper a week ago. She seemed great. She worked for lots of people I knew. She's so warm, so friendly, such a nice woman. It all felt so great. And she works for two of my neighbours. Awesome. So she came round for the first time. In fact, she didn't actually have as much time as I needed. But I took what she had. I thought, okay, that's better than nothing. I'll make it work. I'll have to hire a second person to do the other things. It's okay. I can get by on 3 hours a week. So the first week she comes, we get along great. She tells me about her family. We chat. She does an okay job, but that's fine for a first go. And then I'm away in London the following week and she says, would you like me to come? I said, well, why not? She said, I'll clean the windows. I'll look after everything whilst I am away. Whilst you're away, I'll do everything. So I left the money for her, gave her a key. And so I get back. It's making me laugh just thinking about it. I get back on the Sunday night and I walk in. I'm like, doesn't look very clean. Something's a bit off here. And the air conditioning's on, the heating's on. And I'm like, why is the heating on? You came like 2 days ago, 3 days ago. Even if it had been left on, you should have switched it off, right? So that was a bit of a red flag. I'm like, why? Either you put it on and forgot to switch it off, or you didn't notice it was on. It was absolutely boiling. It was like a sauna in here when I got back. Like 3 full days of heating. It's not even cold. Anyway, I walked around the house and none of the bathrooms had been cleaned. And the surface hadn't been cleaned. There were like tea stains on the tables. I'm like, she actually hasn't done anything. But the money's gone, so she has been. So I'm like, first of all, I'm going through rage and anger and how dare she? And then I'm like, no, the floors have been cleaned. She has done something. So I calm down. I deal with my anger and injustice privately, and then I message her and I say, hey, just noticed that you don't seem to have cleaned much of the house. What happened? So I sent her a couple of pictures to demonstrate specifics, expecting her to kick back or apologize or say she'll come back. And she pointed out what she had cleaned, told me she was missing something to clean the windows. That's actually only one of the windows she needs this pole for. So she pointed out what she had done. I read the message and I was like, I can't even be bothered to reply. I'm just going to leave that. I left it and I did nothing. So the next message I've got, she then says, actually, I'd had a drink when I came to clean. She basically told me she was drunk when she came round. I was like, what do I say to that? I really respect your honesty. You did a really shit job. You didn't do anything we agreed. And now you're telling me you were drunk when you came round. And again, I thought, how do I reply to this? Like, I started laughing at this point. I'm like, respect. You held your hands up. And then I didn't reply. And there was a third message from her. And it said, I'll bring the money back tomorrow and your key. She just fired herself. It was just genius. I didn't need to say anything. She just dug her hole deeper and deeper and deeper. I was feeling kind. So the next morning she was cleaning for my neighbour and I gave her a nice get out clause. I said, hey, between 11 and 12, I'm in a meeting. But if you want to put it under the mat, if you have to go, that's fine. I thought I'll save her the humiliation of a face-to-face encounter, because actually, do I want to invest my energy in someone that's so clearly misaligned? No. So I thought, I'm not willing to invest any more energy in that person. And she took the gentle get out clause. I got my money back and my key back. And I'm back in the market for a housekeeper, cleaner, help around the home. But what did I learn? Well, that old phrase, slow to hire, quick to fire. Really, really true. Secondly, the belief that's really helping me here is to believe that there's plenty of people out there. In the past, I've slipped into scarcity around team and thought, oh, I've got to make it work. I've got to hold on to them. I can't be too harsh because, there's not many people out there. I'm not available to hold that belief anymore. I hold the belief there are plenty of amazing people out there. Second belief I hold is that I deserve to be respected and I deserve honesty. So those are really important beliefs. And that takes me on to my boundaries. Like, that is a non-negotiable for me. I trust you to do something whilst I'm not here supervising you. You mess up, you prove that you're dishonest and untrustworthy, there is no second chance. So really having firm boundaries, like, this is a non-negotiable, and like, you're out. You're out. I'm not even angry with her. I think it's actually hilarious. I literally have laughed so much about it. I honor the humor she gave me. And the last takeaway I got is to really hold out for the fullness of what you desire. So my true desire was to have someone to do more things for me. I want them to go to the post office. I want them to do my food shopping, not just clean my home. And I settled. I settled for the minimum, right? How often do we settle for scraps? We say, oh, that's good enough for me, or I'll take that, or they're okay. And actually, no, I want more. So those are my takeaways. I hope that has amused you this evening. I was debating whether to share, but I thought it's too good to keep to myself. I'll keep you posted on how my housekeeping hiring journey goes. I'm glad to say I've just been on a hiring team for the last month on a big up level in my business, and it's been much more successful than my housekeeping hiring. So I hope you enjoyed that amusing tale and it brought some lightness and humour to your day. Now, I love to look below the surface. So when something doesn't go as planned or when something is disharmonious, I go through different stages in how I process the experience. And I thought this was a great opportunity to share the stages I go through. So number one is to process the emotion. Okay, so that's the first thing I did here was allow my emotion to be expressed, to get angry, to rage. Whatever comes through, I allow that out. Then I reflected and then I took action. So on the surface level, this situation was dealt with. But I really love to use my intuition and to tune in intuitively and say, okay, what was really going on here? So I tuned in and I tried to pick up why was the housekeeper drinking? And what my intuition told me was that she'd had an argument with her husband and then she was mad and went for a drink before she came to clean. And I actually checked this in with one of my amazing psychics. I was curious and she said, yes, the housekeeper and her husband actually row quite a lot. So that was super fun to know that I had tuned it in to the why in her behavior. Our intuitions are so powerful, ladies. We have so much wisdom available to us, this superpower that we excel at as women. So the second thing I tuned into, what was going on here, and I realised that everybody else this housekeeper was cleaning for that I knew of was a man. And the man that I knew who hired her, there's no way he would have tolerated that kind of behaviour. I knew absolutely not. She would have been out had she behaved like that for him. So I'm like, okay, she treated me differently to how she's treating them. And I realised that it was sexism. The Spanish are very traditional, and sexism is a real thing here. It's one of the aspects I really do not like about Spain. It does not align with me. I find it extremely difficult, and I'm experiencing it with personal and professional services here in all sorts of ways. So I'd received these two things intuitively. So then I asked my wonderful psychic, like, is there any truth in this, or is this my projection? And she said, no, the housekeeper did treat you differently because you are a woman. And she didn't have the fear with you that she has around men. Being an older Spanish lady, she was still in that traditional rhetoric of having fear of men. And so therefore, she delivered a great product. She stayed in line with the men. So you can actually experience sexism from women as well as men. It's not always the opposite sex that treats us differently. So to wrap up today, what did I learn from that intuitive dive? Well, I learned sometimes it's just nothing to do with you. Sometimes somebody else has their own patterns and their own dramas, their own dynamics, their own belief system that influences their behaviour, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. I also learned that my intuition is damn fine. So I have my housekeepers to thank for showing me how laser on point my intuition is. And so I can totally trust and lean into it more and more. So I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I look forward to seeing some of you on my masterclass on Tuesday for women business owners who are ready to scale, double their income without working harder. You can find the details in the show notes. Until next week. So this coming Tuesday, March the 14th, I'm hosting a very special masterclass called The Feminine Path to Growth. It's all about how to scale your business and double your income without working harder. You're going to walk away with a tangible, instant shift in your belief system because of the live energy work I'll be doing. You'll walk away with a renewed possibility and more faith in your future potential, as well as down-to-earth clarity on how you can scale and clarity on what to focus on next. We're going to be talking about the energy of growth and what that looks like and feels like, the key mindset areas that you need to pay attention to for the biggest returns and easiest growth, and looking at different models to double your income and scale your business with real life case studies of how this can work. You can sign up for $97 with the link in the show notes. I look forward to seeing you there. Bye for now.